the desert winds whispered across the camp of Israel. For many months, the people had traveled, guided by the cloud of God by day and the fire by night. At last, they came near the edge of the land God had promised, the land flowing with milk and honey. The people gazed across the hills in the distance. They longed to enter, to rest, to build homes, to plant vineyards. But first, they needed to see what lay ahead. God spoke to Moses, "Send men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel. Choose one leader from each tribe." So Moses chose 12 men, strong and wise, one from every tribe. Among them were Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh. Moses gathered the 12 and said, "Go up into the land. See what it is like. Are the people strong or weak? Are there few or many? What is the land like? Is it good or bad? Bring back some fruit of the land." The 12 spies set out. They climbed the hills, crossed valleys, and walked through fields rich with grain. They saw cities with tall walls and people who seemed strong and mighty. For 40 days they explored the land. They cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large it took 2 men to carry it on a pole. They gathered pomegranates and figs, their baskets overflowing with good things. When they returned, the whole camp gathered to hear their report. The spies laid out the fruit before the people. "The land is indeed flowing with milk and honey," they said. "Look at its fruit." But then 10 of the spies frowned. "The people there are strong. The cities are large and fortified. We even saw giants there. We cannot attack them. They are stronger than we are." The people gasped. Fear spread like wildfire through the camp. They began to cry and wail. But Caleb and Joshua stood firm. Caleb raised his voice above the crowd. "Be quiet, everyone. Let us go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. The Lord is with us." Yet the 10 spies shook their heads. "No, we seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and that's how we looked to them." The people wept all night. They grumbled against Moses and Aaron. "Why did the Lord bring us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be taken as plunder. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt?" They even talked about choosing a new leader to take them back to slavery. Moses and Aaron fell face down before the people. Joshua and Caleb tore their clothes and cried out, "The land we explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into it. Do not rebel against the Lord. Do not be afraid of the people of the land. The Lord is with us." But the people would not listen. They picked up stones to kill them. Then the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of meeting, and God's voice thundered, "How long will these people treat me with contempt? How long will they refuse to believe in me, despite all the signs I have performed among them?" God's anger burned. He spoke of destroying the people and raising a new nation from Moses. But Moses pleaded once again, "O Lord, forgive the sin of these people, just as you have forgiven them from the time they left Egypt until now. If you destroy them, the nations will say, 'The Lord was not able to bring them into the land he promised.' For your name's sake, forgive them." And in his mercy, God forgave. But he also declared a judgment. "Not one of those who treated me with contempt will ever see the promised land. But my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly. He and Joshua will enter the land. The rest will wander in the wilderness for 40 years, 1 year for each day the spies explored the land, until this generation is gone. When the people heard this, they mourned. Some tried to rush into the land anyway, but without God's blessing, they were defeated. So the Israelites turned back into the wilderness. Day after day, year after year, they wandered, always guided by the cloud and fire, but never entering the land. Children grew into adults. Parents grew old and died. But through it all, God still gave them manna, water, and His presence. And in their hearts, a promise remained. One day, their children would enter the land God had sworn to give. Trust God, not fear. The 10 spies saw giants, but Joshua and Caleb saw God's power. Disobedience brings consequences. The people's doubt led to 40 years of wandering. God is faithful even when we fail. He still fed His people and stayed with them in the wilderness. And children, the Israelites were afraid and forgot how powerful God was. But Joshua and Caleb remembered, God is stronger than any giant. Remember this tonight. When you face something that feels big or scary, trust that God is with you. His power is greater than your fear. Now close your eyes, rest in His peace, and sleep knowing that the same God who cared for His people in the wilderness will always care for you. Good night, little one.